Hi, how you doing? Mark here. Thanks very much for tuning in. It's great to have your company. Now this BMW 5 Series and its owner go back quite a long way, and I'll tell you what I know about that interesting story in just a second. But first off, let me tell you about my first experience in this generation of BMW 5 Series, the E61, way back when they were new to the market. There we go then, restoration is underway, all taped up and into stage 1, the dry sanding. More on that in a while, where I'll also be talking about that front bumper, which I'm sure you've noticed. So, my first ever experience of the 5 Series, the E61 generation at that, it was actually the M5 version of this machine, which even by today's standards is still a serious bit of kit. I think I'm correct in saying it has a 5 litre V10 naturally aspirated motor knocking out around 500 brake horsepower, correct me if I'm wrong. But whatever the finer details, I now know these are very capable machines. A very good friend of mine had access to the keys of the M5 as a result of being on their company insurance policy. And as such, he was able to drive any car that the company owned. I still don't quite understand how all that business works, but that's besides the point. I was just feeling like the cat that got the cream, lucky enough to be sat shotgun in that amazing motor. Well, let me tell you, the car lived up to its looks and the sound of that amazing motor and those twin exhausts. If you've ever been lucky enough to experience the E61 M5, or indeed if you're even luckier and own one, then please let me know about it. I'd love to hear your thoughts. The way that thing moved forward under full power was quite something else. And at one point, whilst I was looking down sending a message on my phone, the car pulled so hard from a standstill that I physically felt unwell. Needless to say, I did not look at my phone for the rest of that crazy ride. What a machine. Wicked. And even though that experience was what it was because of the power of the M5 version of this car, as I understand it, they're all very capable cars, great chassis dynamics, and very well put together. So the drive is still exceptional, no matter what the model. Since that day, I've always admired the E61 shape and had a soft spot for these cars. And oddly enough, one of the best features of this generation of 5 Series for me has always been the headlights. Well, from a looks point of view anyway. How strange that even long before I ever started my headlight restoration company, I found myself drawn to the headlights on a vehicle. I love the fact that BMW led the way with their Angel Eye setups, and still think these are a great looking unit, even in amongst some of the crazy headlight designs that companies are producing these days. What do you think? Just referring then to the restoration work that you're watching, I'm still on stage 1, the initial dry sanding stage. These units are quite large and they were suffering from all sorts of issues, and I was hoping to get to as many of them as possible. So stage 1 is really where I need to continue working until I'm absolutely confident that I can't do any more before moving on to try and get the headlight clear again. As I've explained in some of my other time-lapse restoration videos, preparation really is key, and I know it is the same for many things like this. But yeah, the dry sanding stage is really where I need to concentrate and make sure I've got rid of all the defects that I can, or I think I can, before even thinking about moving on to try and get that headlight back to where it should be. So yeah, let me carry on there. It won't be too long before you see stage 2, the first of the 2 wet sanding stages, and that's really where you start to see the headlight coming back to us and all my initial hard work paying off at an early stage. So we'll look forward to that, more on the restoration in just a bit. Well, I must say, it was lovely to meet the owner of this BMW 5 Series. He was good enough to talk to me about the car for a while. And he explained to me that actually this was his company car way back when it was brand new. He liked the car so much that he ended up purchasing it and obviously still owns it today. He went on to tell me that the car has been absolutely fantastic over the years, and so much so that it really made me want to go and get one. This particular model is the 525, and even though, yeah, I know it's not the M5 that I was talking about earlier, talking to the owner, he was saying that it's actually still very, very capable, and I can well believe it. He was saying that the chassis dynamics and the drive of the car are great, really, especially for what is quite a big car, massive boot, able to carry probably 5 adults in comfort. And again, when you consider back when this car was built, it was quite a few years ago, I think it's great that BMW ticked so many boxes and got so many things correct with a saloon car. I personally still love a saloon car. I know that SUVs are the big thing these days, but I'd happily go and own something like this. So yeah, like I said before, if you own or have ever owned one of these, then please do let me know in the comments how you've found it to be over the years. I'd genuinely love to know. The owner was actually telling me that he has absolutely no interest in ever getting rid of this car. In fact, he's wanting to spend quite a bit of money on it, giving it some real good TLC. Well deserved. In actual fact, he owns a much newer, much more capable BMW, but even in light of that, this 5 Series still isn't going anywhere. I mean, if that isn't a 5-star review, I don't know what is. Back to the restoration for a bit then, and as you can see now, I am indeed on that first of the 2 wet sanding stages, and I'll let you into a little secret. Well, it's not much of a secret really, but I'll tell you anyway. As I work through my 3 hand sanding stages, I have different microfiber cloths that I like to use. Call it OCD. The first stage will be blue, the second stage will be pink, and the last stage will be yellow. Now, apart from the fact that I recall way back in the day when I started doing this that I wanted to finish on yellow because my whole logo thing is black and yellow, so yellow meant that I was getting near to the end of the process. I don't really know why I use the cloths in this order, but it's just an OCD thing. Everything about what I do with a restoration is a process, and I think I'm right in saying a lot of you out there watching this will probably agree with me. I mean, let me know what you think, but we all need to follow a process, so it's just a kind of a comfort thing. So I know when I'm on a certain stage, I'll be using a certain colour cloth. If you've watched one of my time-lapse videos before and look back, you'll know what stage I'm on now, with the hand sanding at least, owing to the colour of the cloth. A little bit sad, but again, it's one of those things. We work by process, and that's how we get things done. Of course, carrying out this type of work, you need to work cleanly through every stage. It also helps massively if you can be tidy and know what's coming next and how you're going to approach that. I suppose I've just taken it one step further, and I go by the colour of my cloths. It's funny because in one of my previous time-lapse restoration videos, I mentioned the fact that I probably need to get out more, owing to the fact that I get quite excited at certain stages when I see certain things happening. I've probably just admitted again that I definitely do need to get out more. If anyone out there watching this is able to support me by saying something in the comments that makes me feel like I'm not alone, then that'd be great. Apologies for that. I've now composed myself and I'm back in the room. Any supportive comments regarding OCD behavioural patterns will be greatly received. Let's get back to the restoration in hand. And a little test for you. What stage am I on now? Well, of course, the arrival of the yellow microfiber cloth means it's stage 3, the final hand sanding stage, the last wet sanding stage. And as you can see, the headlight is starting to come through lovely and looking more than ready for the final 2 machine polishing stages. And that means, as you may well know, I'll be getting quite excited because I know that this should come through lovely and we end up with a great result for the car and, more importantly, the owner. Now, right at the beginning of this video, I mentioned that you may have noticed issues with the front bumper, the paintwork, the lacquer. Well, before embarking on this job, I did speak to the owner about that, and luckily for me, he mentioned the fact that one of the very next jobs on the car is to have that whole front bumper resprayed. It's covered quite a few miles during its lifetime with the owner, so the front bumper was showing signs of wear and tear, shall we say. You may argue then that I needn't have bothered taping up, and in actual fact, in taping up and removing the tape, I'm going to remove some of that already very weak lacquer. But like I said, I discussed this with the owner and he was more than happy that that might be the case, as the bumper's going to be resprayed anyway. Just another part of the money and the time that he's spending on this trusty BMW. I did still tape up, however, as that is what I do, but also because some of my stages are quite aggressive and I would definitely have taken paint and lacquer off, and there was no need to do that. I still need to protect what is good about that bodywork. I just thought it was necessary to explain all that in the best way I could and the most succinct way possible, as when you see the after videos you will see that there is lacquer removed from that bumper. Not only the lacquer that was already missing before I'd started my work, but the fact that my tape has removed some as well. But like I said, the owner was fine with this, and I really look forward actually to seeing the car when it's had the front bumper resprayed again. So we're not far away from the end result now then. Polishing stages are being worked through, the sealant stages will soon take place, and you'll get to see the great end results in the after videos. I really hope you're looking forward to them. I'd like to take this opportunity to say thanks very much for watching my video. I really do appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, give it a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed to me, then please do so, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Then you'll be notified about future videos like this, as I plan on making lots more in the coming months. In the next few weeks, I've got a Porsche Panamera front and rear lights, a BMW Mini and a Mark V Golf, with lots more in the pipeline, including some videos I'm really looking forward to making and sharing with you. If you're interested to see more right now, then in amongst the time-lapse videos already on my channel, we've got a Porsche Cayman, a Jaguar XKR, a Chrysler Crossfire SRT6 and a Maserati Gran Turismo. So why not go check those out after this one. Thanks again for watching, have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. And that is what I do. Please like and subscribe. Rest assured, there's plenty more to come.